So, today we're gonna start Kaine's route, as far as I understood it to be. And, yeah. As soon as I get to hide my mouse, we're good to go. And let's get started. You might hear my tumble dryer in the background, by the way.
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway...
Kaine's dreams, discrimination. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from the huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I. The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on, come on. The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life, spinning this way and that for a moment, and finally settled with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo, Kaine! The voice belonged to Timo, worst of all the bullies in the Eyrie. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from the cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Timo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The Dormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Timo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt. Oh look, the little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Hello there, Queen Atsiri. Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. And Demo crept ever closer. The clouds began to thin, and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. I'm a failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys. Let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home. Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak, chanted the children. Freak, freak, freak. Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from the spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying! He's actually crying! Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was rapt on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touches my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she grounded her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Ow! He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it! What are you doing? Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch! A big one! That thing could have killed me! The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Looking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backward and spat on the ground. Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here! Either of you! Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Ah! Look at the fat boy go! Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded, and she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her— Yes, Paul, I know, this is very sad— and began blotting the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kaine, she said, why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing. Nothing matters anymore. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. As Kaine's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hand on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away.
Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt a crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand?
The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice.
You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it.
As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her.
Do I make you sick, Grandma? Of course not. Don't be an ass.
Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't...
Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell.
With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears! Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath, as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these?
Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping.
The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in the construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers.
Didn't quite turn out right,
said her grandmother as she squinted at it.
These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you.
Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty?
Of course you are. What a foolish thing to say.
Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled.
We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. Long as we got each other, we'll be just fine.
Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped a hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away in the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Kindness Dreams Daily Life. I wonder how much I'm gonna be reading. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through.
Stupid piece of shit axe!
Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush.
Grandma!
called Kaine.
Hey you, Kaine!
Yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the woodwork for a moment.
Don't get too close, or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake!
She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine, close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she'd scuttled to safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, "Grandma!
Do you need help? I can get you water or...
Oh, sorry, that's Kaine's line, sorry. Do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something." The axe poised to strike another wobbly blow poised in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled.
Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards.
Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the most difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the Eyrie. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found in the rocky... I need to move the chat. On the rocky something land. Give me just a moment, guys. I'm so sorry. I need to toggle borders and move this here. On the rocky acre of land they called home, Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard.
Damn it! Damn it! Oh, crap!
She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands.
This is tough. And my logs are all weird sizes.
Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Sitting down her bucket with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh.
Pretty clumsy, girl. You better practice if you...
Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. "Grandma!" The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket.
Get the bucket. Can't let it spill.
Kaine steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening?" Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away.
Stop that, stop, she cried,
breathing heavily.
It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all.
Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaken hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. "Grandma, you're sick, and you need medicine. I'm going to the village." The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. "It's all right," she said. "I'll be fine." Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed.
Well, I don't like it. God damn it. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up.
The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across the dark, rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling everyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. "Hey, lady," said Kaine with a bravado she did not feel. "Where's the apothecary?" Apothecary. I hope I got it right. The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. "How dare this thing speak to me?" they seemed to say, but Kaine saw that her eyes had a different emotion. Fear. "Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one." "Which way?" Kaine repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary. But the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. "Oh my god," he sputtered. What are you doing here, freak?" The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication.
Huh, barked Demo. That old bitch finally keel over. Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head, but before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kaine turned to fight the apothecary with a smile. Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. That was my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are powerful things, continued the shopkeeper. They let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kaine and smiled. Handing her the medicine, he reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. You should have these. There is no one left that I wish to draw. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village, and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Kali, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Kali? Thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hand. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, he said as Kaine scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medication by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hands clasped around her arm. Back already, are you? Asked her grandmother with a yawn. Come here, let me have a look at you. Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble? It was kind of fun, said Kaine with a small smile. No, seriously, it was. Fun, eh? Asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know. Yes, Paul, this is very sad. Yes. As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone. But Grandma, it'll make you live forever, Horseshit,
said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed.
Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crayons away and help with dinner.
But Kaine would not relent, and in the end Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house, as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment.
Let me be the just judge of that,
she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh.
Oh, Kaine, she said between laughter. You truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it.
But...
Hush. I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always.
True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down.
Posh, said the old woman. I'll take it down when they roll me in my shroud.
She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee.
Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness.
It was a moment that burned itself in Kaine's memory, a perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. Kaine's dreams. Separation. Okay. Kaine listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust.
Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug.
The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted.
It's no bug, you fool girl. It's a berry.
Why the hell would I be
feeding you bugs?
Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug, said Kaine. And I think it's burned or something, because it smells terrible. With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. Oh yeah, that's terrible, all right.
Why, you little brat,
laughed the old woman. Look at the
sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact.
5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown, in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kaine could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaine started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burnt berry rolling through her belly.
"Where are you going today?"
asked Grandma suddenly. Kaine looked up surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. "Well, I was gonna check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. And I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow."
"Flagstones? What in the hell for?"
Kaine stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. "Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection." The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world.
"God damn, girl. If a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway."
"I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday." The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter.
"Well, shoot. I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other."
"Grandma, no. If I don't go to the kelma trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that." A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival.
Yes," she said after a bit. "Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately it seems my mind is..."
She didn't finish the thought, instead walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it.
"You're going to be a true woman soon,"
Grandma said, as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair.
"So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls and more talk about how beautiful you've become."
Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand.
"You are a beautiful thing," said the old woman, "and there ain't another like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you."
"Okay, Grandma, that's enough. Goddamn compliments for one day."
"Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from?"
"Gee, I wonder."
"I'll teach you to sass me, girl,"
yelled Grandma. Suddenly she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face.
"Grandma!"
yelled Kaine in a quaking voice. "Grandma, stop it! What the hell?" The old woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out, as if it was the first time she had ever seen them.
I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just..."
Kaine thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. "Listen," she began, "maybe I should stay home after all."
"No, I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger like me. You got to get your fruits and your wool and whatnot. I'll be here. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you."
Kaine rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead, and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around, she told herself, but in the end, the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look, and saw a small, bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. Gods, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with a finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. Oh no! Oh gods, no! Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma! Grandma! Kaine ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that had spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark, not just fire. That can't be fire, too much smoke. Gotta save her, I gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt. Her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it an appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment the creature retreated into a shimmering inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. "All right, you bastard!" she thought, as her scream echoed off with high cliffs around them. "It's you or me. Let's go!" The shade eyed Kaine with bemused interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced toward the house. Through the smoke and flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. "Grandma!" At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. "She's alive," thought Kaine. "Alive!" Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up now! As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet only to fall back to earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were suddenly broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. "Grandma, hold on, just a little longer." Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, the distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women, and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. Bastard! Laughing at us. She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt the shade was taking joy in their suffering. Yeah, I see your plan. The shade moved its claws slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. I'm gonna kill this bastard! Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backward, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. "Give her back!" she screamed. "Give her back to me!" It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched onto its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. "Kaine." Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. "Grandma, Kaine, you gotta run. You can't best this one." Kaine grabbed her hands and held on with all her strength. "Grandma, come on, we have to go." The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. "Grandma, no, no!" "I said run, goddammit. You have to live. You have to get through." The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's clawed foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from the gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind, one after the other, faster and faster, until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaine screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept toward its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose, as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles. Her head lolled dangerously to the side, but somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment. Laughing like a madwoman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears.
Is that blood?
I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. No, can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames, all of it faded away, until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it! Kill it now! As the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer.
Oh, I know.
Hi! Alright, hello chat, what did I miss? You're gonna have to repost everything because I had to move the chat out of the way completely. So I see very little. We have a hug request from Mars. Okay.
What anger this creature
Worm
must have.
attacks to you,
How did it even
Mars.
survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today.
My sword is lighter. It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
Okay. I think that's it, right? What am I supposed to hit now? Smack. Snap. You know what's the real big question though? What is down there? And what does it look like down there? And do shades leave waste behind if they don't eat? Oh no, you have got to be kidding me. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. I wonder how much more of this there is. Okay. Well, just skip it if you want to. No! No skipping. Important story. Gently. Weakly. Softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stumped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shame beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Huh. Huh, cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are ya? Well, you had it coming.
Go to hell, Demo, she thought as the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I block out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. Want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. No, stop it, stop, don't hurt that picture. Kaine reached out with her remaining arm, and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture onto the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Ha, cha-cha-cha. I look like that? Oh God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud, and smoke of her ruined house waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream at the voice, as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish? Like a prayer or something? Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me, save me. Kaine finally resorted to shouting at the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse, a freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh God, you are the best. Kaine glanced down and saw a black shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet and then began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is this my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die, so why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips. Then it resumed. It was filled with mad, unabated joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in their blood, just like before. In response, Kaine shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade?
Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaine was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. "Feels good, don't it?" asked the voice with a chuckle. "Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade." A black lump began to protrude from Kaine's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. "I can see better," she thought. "My eye must be growing back too." The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. "Stop," she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. "Stop." The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. "Ah, what the hell, Sunshine?" screamed the voice. "We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die." "Grandma said I can't die yet." A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. "The thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die." Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern, the pattern of the shades, burn itself into her left arm. "Well, I'll be damned," said the voice cheerfully. "Look at that, Sunshine. I think you and me are gonna be good friends now." Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. "Stop. Gotta stop." Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. "Come on, don't fight it," pleaded the voice. "Hey, it's my favorite dish, and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood. Then go out there and... Shut up! Shut up and get the hell out of my body!" "Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those bodies of yours in the area would love to see you dead." Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard on the ground of bone. Dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. "Stupid idiot girl. You're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no going back." The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. "Possessed?" whispered Kaine. "Yeah, possessed. You and me. We got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait until they'll get a load of you now." Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. "Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world?" So, listen," purred the voice. "I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you wanna kill? I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you? That big old shade that squashed your granny? We'll wrap 'em up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain." "Wait," said Kaine. "You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade?" What do you think? I'm some sort of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honeypants. I just want to drink from the well. Kinda considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me? We could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part, if you want. If you don't want to. Fuck off, asshole! Muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Screamed the voice. Look at you go. Oh, sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name is Turan, and if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour, and I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade, and I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Turan. Count on it. Laughed Turan. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body, but if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. It feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I'm not a shade. I'm Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot on the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there is any going back. Holding the flower to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn, and the people of the area arose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive! Stay alive! Stay alive!
Grandma.
Kaine, you gotta live! You gotta come back to us!
Oh, hey. Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you, Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Wow, you grew up. So, how long has it been?
5 years.
Shit. That's a long time.
Alright, putting the chat back to where it belongs.
Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Kaine waking from her long petrified sleep. Emil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all. Are you kidding me? You can't be serious!
Please, try to understand.
I really hope I don't have to read that much in a little moment.
People are tired and scared, and... I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it!
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me. As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But...
There's a total of 9,300 words. Whew.
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
Well, it feels like I read a lot of words.
What is the matter?
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
Have I been reading for 70 minutes? Whoa.
I didn't get much sleep that night. For the first time in my life, I hated Devila. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself.
Okay, well, that's a whole lot of reading then. Especially without a spot to save.
I should apologize to Kaine and Emil, but what good would that even do?
I got a fire going.
Wait, is that...
Campfires are weird.
It sounds like we're having a
I'm
good
so
time.
happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Aw.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right?
And you can fly.
Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid, before the whole shade possession thing. My body is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was. No matter how bad things got, she gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession and my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Oh, man.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay, can we just forget I told you about that?
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
Items.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
So, I don't get to play as Kaine. Seems like my previous attempts are still here. Well, I guess I may as well go ahead and just plant these things now. Tyr says, I wish I could clip the entirety of the reading for the memes. Well, I was actually thinking that I might just cut it and, you know, then set it. And I just realized that I'm practically wasting my time doing this because there is no way of knowing how long this thing is. Oh well. Yeah, that would be an hour-long video. Okay, I'm just putting these three here. I'm just gonna save on top of this now. Because I don't want to have to go through that again.
Hey,
Oh, I kind of thought you'd...
I
I'm
understand.
just
Pretty
gonna
much.
skip over this.
Yeah?
Sorry about yet.
You don't need... Let Emil and...
All right.
Well, it would take a while to upload, but I have another part of NieR uploading right now because some of the uploads that I said never finished and they just disturbed. And yeah.
Popola?
Oh,
Look,
stop.
yeah, you're just...
It's very...
Ahem.
Oh, you know about the lost...
The temple where I was first.
That's it.
Oh,
But,
So, yes, the fair batch...
thank...
What's going
all
on
right.
in the chat? Yeah, that is frustrating. It was, but I'm dealing with it. I already managed to re-upload the latest part that I published today. Today? Today.
The path above the entrance to the shopping district should lead to the boat landing.
How excellent to know the canal is finished. Hopefully this puts our days of running all over behind us.
The faster we can move, the faster we can save Yona. Let's
but
use it
hey.
as often as we need.
Guess who's alive now, though? Mr. Redback. Maybe we can try to find his ruby or gem or whatever during this playthrough. I just really don't know where to find one.
Hey, look who it...
That red bag.
Hey.
Sure.
Oh yeah?
That it.
Anyone have a suggestion where we should look for it?
The Lost Shrine's up ahead.
As well as the shut.
Let us...
I wonder if I'm just playing the game from here on out and the only difference is going to be that there are gonna be lots of things about Kaine to read. Oh. Hansel. Demon. Take away dirty defective slime. Whoa! So angry. It would be nice if it just put us to the top. No such luck. I feel so puzzled. I don't know what I'm expecting to be different. But so far the only real difference is a couple of cutscenes and, you know, 70 minutes worth of text. Willie says, I feel like suggesting facade, but I can always look it up. Yeah, maybe the, you know, random item dealer would have had it. It could have even been mentioned and I just forgot all about that. But yeah, by all means do check it out, Willie. What do you guys think about this so far? Well, it says the backstory was enjoyable. I'm just disappointed you don't get to play as Kaine now.
Ain't you excited, sunshine? We finally get to bathe in blood.
Don't talk to me.
I want to kill so bad I can barely stand it.
Well, doesn't he have an evil voice? Just the evilest. Okay, it is in Facade in the Street Items shop. Okay. I do wonder about one thing. Oh, look at that. The quest completion range is the same. So it's an accumulative save file in that regard. Oh, that's nice. I hope that we get a chance to complete that. apparently I also get a chance to redo all this.
This is all too easy.
I think I'm just gonna run past the small encounters. I don't see much of a point to fight monsters that are pretty far beneath our level. Well, there are worse things luckily than these block puzzles. Fortunately, these are not particularly complicated. What is that sound? Turn back, turn back.
What's with these guys?
Certainly not your garden variety, Shades.
Their bodies aren't fully functional.
Say, I've heard of this. A cursed area where incomplete shades gather.
I wonder what makes them incomplete. Yeah, I'm gonna avoid fighting because I don't want to fall all the floors down again. I am mildly traumatized. Oh yeah, right. Willie says, is it just me or does this new voice sound generic to others? You mean like generic evil? Yeah, it kinda does. Oh, sounds like Kaze is ready. Oh, we can't leave this room. Alright. Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later. Well, hey, on the bright side, Yuri is still out there, and we could go and get an egg. Right, so there's that positive. My inventory is way too full. Just a moment, guys. I'm just gonna lower the volume a little bit. It's a bit loud to my ears. We barely stumbled from that. We barely even took damage from that. Kinda takes away from the joy of playing when nothing hurts you. I treated you all poorly. I mocked you, betrayed you, all because you went just old before the change was complete. But after all this, I think I can understand you. I think we can speak as equals. This makes me very happy. I hope we can spend the rest of our lives. What was that? Well, I guess we're heading over there to ruin their day.
Kaine, Emil, look, from now on, I'm going to sleep outside with you.
Why?
I can't accept that you aren't allowed in the village. It's stupid.
So you're staging a protest? Fun!
Don't waste your time.
But it just feels wrong.
Well, that's really nice of you, but you still don't have to stay out here with us.
Emil.
You got a super important mission. You can't sleep out in the rain. What if you catch a cold? Besides, I like camping with Kaine. Sometimes we sit around the fire and tell stories, or roast...
Neil, that's enough. I've got a fucking image to maintain.
We seem to be surrounded by a mob of helpless puppies.
Just kick them aside.
I'm sorry, mob of helpless puppies. Okay. Don't you touch them.
What's going on? There's dozens of them!
These are creatures of the darkness. Lure them to the light. Pathetic to the end, I see.
Aim for that statue. It's the leader.
Look, they're not even hurting me. They're hurting my friends. I'm okay with just standing here, you know?
Oh, you're funny. I'm gonna start crying here.
The voice just doesn't really fit, does it? What if I just stand here? I mean, it's not like they're hurting. Apparently my teammates are hurting. Get them anyway. I wonder if Kaine can understand
Have you
what
felled
he's
the
saying.
beast?
This is one stubborn son of a bitch.
I don't remember this rotation.
Hey there, sunshine. You ain't feeling bad this week, are ya? Ain't no turning back now. You got a lust for blood. Embrace the slaughter. All we know is the thrill of battle. Ain't that right, Kaine?
Oh, yeah, I took damage. Ooh.
No, you're kidding me!
Kaine!
And again, the grossest shower ever. It's kind of funny how it looks like nails on those gloves, the pointy tips. Please don't make me read again. Please don't make me read again.
Kaine!
I fear there is little we can do for her.
Oh my god, it's gonna make me read again, isn't it?
Kaine!
What is happening?
It's all over for you, sunshine.
Kaine! Kaine! It's Kaine's shade!
With no other choice, we must strike it down.
Kaine! Come back!
Welcome back, Kaine. I'm definitely hitting it.
Now, pin her down.
Kaine, please! Come back!
Oh dear.
Kaine! Kaine!
Kaine!
I couldn't hold it back. I can't be with...
We're always going to be together, Kaine. If you transform again, we'll just stop it again. As many times as it takes. I don't care how tough it is. We're gonna get you back. I like sleeping outside because I'm with you, Kaine. I'm able to ignore my appearance and keep going because of you. I'm weak, and I'm sad, and I'm lonely. But you make me strong. You're my friend, and I need you. So don't you dare leave me!
There, Emil. There.
All right. Stop crying. And thanks. I'm all right.
Over there. And what is this,
It's me. It's got some kind of writing on it, but I don't know what it says.
How remarkably useless of you. Well, let's go ask Popola.
It's a cipher of some kind.
Can you determine its meaning?
I think this is the key to unlocking the Shadow Lord's castle. Here, take a look at this. I wrote down all the words I can understand. This fragment is called the Stone Guardian. Given that you found it in the Lost Shrine, the words must mean something. There are spaces here for 4 other fragments as well. Sacrifice, the Law of Robotics, the Memory Tree, Loyal Cerberus. The law of robotics probably refers to the junk heap. And the memory tree might be the forest of myth. But as for sacrifice and loyal Cerberus, I don't have a clue.
Not a problem.
Hmm?
If we want to fill in the words, we just run around the world killing every big monster we find, right?
Oh, splendid. By all means, let us undertake a murderous rampage.
They're just shades. Besides...
It's a dangerous...
Yeah, well, Yona's...
But how can you...
Because...
Yes, yes,
Junk
yes,
heap.
yes, yes, yes.
Oh, and listen. The villagers... I'll hurry them...
I'll try.
We'll never get them to stay at our house, do we? Let's have a look what we have over here now that we've beaten the game once.
What is the purpose of this?
Beats me.
Makes me think that it's corresponding only to the current time of the game and not to all of them. A shame. Squee! Is what my fridge says. Let's do the junk heap first.
Popola
this
said
time
we might
around,
be able to find a key fragment.
Perhaps we can find a clue.
so that we gain access to the shop earlier. And I'm gonna head straight to Devila and see if she can point us to the direction of a quest that we are missing. Wait a second. I think that he has a quest for us. Maybe it's exactly that quest. Give me the quest.
I sense an...
Easy,
Awesome.
guys. Hey there.
How do
What's
we...
going on?
Whoa. And since I...
Yes. Promise to give.
It'll take a hell of a...
And she told...
That...
Exact. So...
Sure. How about her dark hair? What if we answer differently this time around?
Well, her hair was
Was it now?
No, I guess.
well,
We got married.
I remember...
You're so...
Hello, freaking green.
flower.
Yeah.
I'm kind of trying to make it
Well,
through
what-
very quickly.
How...
Can you believe...
You know what? Shit, bud.
How...
Oh,
Okay. So, do we have the quest now? Yes. Okay, so we can head
you know, I...
straight to Facade, and we'll pick it up, and we'll give it to him, and we won't make a single move in terms of story until he has that darn jewel. Don't go anywhere, Redback man.
I say, each time we encounter that bickering couple anew, we are made to endure an even further torrent of meaningless and incessant chatter.
Yeah, they love to talk, all right. Remind you of anyone?
Grimoire Vice is 100 times that better. You don't see this old tome flitting about starting Donnybrooks and set twos now, do you?
Poison. Well, that's a curious thing to get now. But I guess we're in no danger, so I'm not gonna waste our items. How you doing, freaking green? Just heal up real quick. Oh wait, there is another quest. Or is it just, oh, it's just for this.
Hey, so we're looking for...
This is less a jewel and more a simple rock.
お先とわるラッキー。いや最低ざ。ケチ置いててちたる。で、あぜるより。
Wait, really? Thanks.
Generous guy.
Let's head for Back Dude's house so we can give him his jewel.
I
Because
imagine
we
it
need
would
to
be
go to
quickest to make
his
for seafront by way of the canal. Huzzah to us for acquiring a red jewel. But is it truly all right to make a present of something we received at no cost?
I think it's the thought that counts here.
And whose thoughtfulness are we speaking of? Might I remind you, the giver of this present is not even here.
You might remind. Alright, I hope he's here to ferry us along. Hello, got your stuff.
You got a red jewel? Oh, this is amazing! Here, come with me to Seafront so we can get ready to give it to her, okay?
Sure.
Welcome to Seafront. I'll hurry and get the apples and flowers together, so what say you just head on over to my place? See you soon!
I wonder what this is gonna do for their marriage.
What a journey this has been. Let us make for the couple's home at once.
I wonder if the old fisherman is still alive in this version. Doesn't seem like it. Hello, Mrs. Redbag.
Oh, look who it is! Oh, I remember the two of you.
Thanks.
And we most certainly recall you, madam. That lover's quarrel you had back then was the stuff of myth and legend.
Oh, hey! Welcome home, honey pants.
Whoa.
Hey, Snookums. So, remember how I said I was going to make things up to you after that whole wedding anniversary fiasco? Well, I tried and tried, but I just couldn't remember what I promised to get you all those years ago. But I had these two gents help me out, and we put together a whole bunch of stuff we thought you might like.
Hello, Go.17. Welcome to the stream.
Huh. Well, I'm glad you put so much thought into it, but these are all wrong. Very wrong.
What?
Then we went to all that trouble for nothing.
Come on, Vars. She still likes them, right?
Honey, the only thing I wanted was a nice home-cooked meal. Back when we were newlyweds, you promised to make me a big feast of all your tastiest dishes one day. Remember?
Huh. Now that you mention it, work has been so crazy lately that I haven't done much cooking at all.
I know how hard you've been working your little tushy off for my sake, Muffin. So, here's your punishment. You're making dinner tonight. And you two are going to join us.
Oh, sweet lord, no.
Wait, us? You sure?
Of course I'm sure. It's the least we could do after all the trouble this big lug of mine put you through.
I'm terrified. I'm terrified. That night.
I'm at a dining table filled with apple-based cuisine, red roses, and a single crimson stone.
Yeah, Godot, I'm enjoying the game. We're in
Illuminated
the
by candlelight. The
B
married couple fills the room
storyline
with
right
joyous
now.
laughter. The scene fills me with an unfamiliar sense of calm. Just a happy family gathered around the table. It feels so very normal. I never thought I'd feel this way again. So I stuff my face with the great feast before me, hoping it helps to hide the tears welling in my eyes.
So, what did you think of my love muffins cooking?
It was all delicious, ma'am. I can't thank you enough.
And though it boggles my mind to say it, I greatly enjoyed the company and conversation.
I'm happy to hear that.
Sorry again for all the trouble, but I hope this lets you know how grateful I am.
That is a measly, measly little teeny tiny cheap amount of money.
I know he can be a handful, but I hope you'll continue being friends with my husband.
Ollie! Hi!
Oh, and
Hey,
we'd
Ollie
just
Bits.
love to have dinner with you again sometime.
Would we ever? Things get pretty boring when it's just the
Hold
two
on,
of
Ollie,
us.
we're just gonna cover this dialogue real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I boring you now?
Oh, we're getting to this again, huh?
Oh, wait, no, that's not what I meant,
no.
obviously.
We've been down this road and know where it leads, lad. Flee at once.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, so, we're just gonna go.
Let me go.
Thanks for dinner.
Let me go. I wonder if we... Yeah, I think the boat is out of commission for a bit. Alright there. Hi there, Ollie. Hi. It's so good to see you. And yes, I actually got your package. And I wanted to try and catch you live so that I could tell you about it. You guys, I ordered these kind of post-it notes from Ollie Bits' online shop. And she was incredible and ended up sending a whole lot of other goodies to me. I guess you remembered what I mentioned I ordered, and guess which order was mine. And I was so surprised. At first I was looking at the parcel and being like, this is not what I ordered, this isn't mine, what is all this stuff? And then I saw your note and it just made me so happy and feel so appreciated, and oh my gosh, I can't thank you enough for that goodie pack. I'm just glad I got to say it in my own voice and like this instead of just a random measly Twitter message. So thank you so very much. They are all awesome and I just adore them. But yeah, I do recommend anyone, if you like pixel art and things like that, to check out Ollie's stream whenever she's on. And she's doing different kinds of other art things right now too. I don't unfortunately have time to catch her stream very often because I'm very bad at watching streams myself. But I do sometimes, and it's great. It's absolutely great. And it's always nice to pop by there. There's this really cute shark on her streams every single time. And I just go pretty much to check out the shark dancing. Don't worry about the shipping, Ollie. It was my pleasure to try and do something to support you. And those notepads are gonna make great presents. Even the copper cards are celebrating your presence here. We got copper ore. So... thank you so very much. Now let's see if the celebration extends to eagle eggs. More copper ore. Okay, the copper gods are happy. Totally gonna find some eagle eggs here, right? Right. And I know I'm pretty much just vomiting words at this point, trying to produce like a million words per second. But yeah, it's always very nice vibes around Ollie.
Hey, who was that?
Can't make it anywhere by jumping there. So let's just see if we can find an eagle egg here. Is this fine or is it gonna trigger something?
Make sure you stock up on necessities.
Oh hey, we can actually attend the shop now.
Come back.
Imagine that. What do you sell?
Welcome.
I'm gonna buy a bunch of all of these because I don't want to have to, you know, get any of them from anywhere else. And I want to support the economy of this place until it plummets to oblivion. Weapons?
My weapons may not.
Ooh, new weapons. Ooh. Okay. Mine, and mine.
Thanks.
Why not fill your
What do you sell? Nothing that I don't already have. But let's buy some fertilizer from you too. You know, gotta give equal treatment to all the shopkeepers, right? Speed fertilizer. Yeah, the soundtrack is really nice, isn't it, Godot? So, Holly and of course everyone else, how have you been? How is life treating you all? Now that I don't need to be in the middle of a cutscene or reading for 70 minutes in a row, it's nice to hear from you guys instead. Let's see if there's anything at the very end. Maybe a random eagle has decided to grace us with an egg. Although I guess I can't really see how an eagle would lay an egg under a box. Now that I actually consider it, it sounds kind of silly, doesn't it? Oh yeah, this no longer leads anywhere. Now what? It was as you always found it near one of the houses. Yeah, the one near the chief's house or mayor's house or whatever you want to call it, but it seems appropriate to come over here to check first. And I'm so happy we actually got to see those shops for the first time ever. Yep, just ladders. Okay, let's take this up then and just get across the pit. I gotta say, this place is built in a very questionable manner. Oh, wrong one. Need to go off this first. Grab on. Grab. Oh, Godot. I will give you 10 out of 10 for that pun. That was a good one. I love puns.
I'm done believing in people. My wife's been acting kind of strange.
What's the point? Nothing matters anymore.
We do like puns here. Good ones. And that's a good one. I don't think there's anything shiny over here. I didn't see anything, so I doubt there's anything.
What should I do? Don't talk to me!
Tomato seed.
I can't trust anybody anymore.
It's over. It's all over. What do you want? Just leave me alone.
What if I make a jump off of here? Where does it put me? Right where it dropped me. No, dang it. I wonder, can I make this jump if I really, really, really try? Nice. That works. At least we got some climbing time. But no eagle egg yet. I wonder if there's anything that will make it spawn more likely. Ouch. Let's try to roll back in. I wish there was a shortcut in the area. Like some hyper jump or anything. Oh. Copper ore? Well, that's always good. Can't see anything there. I wonder if it just shows itself. I mean, surely it's not always just under the box there. So let's just do a couple more runs back and forth and see what we can get out of that. Also, if someone knows for a fact, just let me know. Then Lunam says, what exactly do you need copper ore for in this game? See, we got copper ore a lot in NieR Automata. And it's a very basic component for very basic things. But we got it so much in that game that we just started to get excited whenever we got it. In order to make it less mundane. In this particular game, you use it for, well, just some weapon upgrades here and there, I think. Not much else. We don't have shortage, but we're just respecting the old joke. And then there is this part where the robots are, oh, we shall become as gods. And I don't remember what came first, the song or the joke, but I started to do this thing of us becoming copper gods. So now we sacrifice things to the copper gods. Well, I don't see anything appearing there. So I'm just gonna do a quick run over there and hope for the best. I don't know exactly how rare the eagle egg is as a drop and if it only shows up outside of the house or under the box. So I guess we're just gonna take a quick look.
I'm done believing in people.
Oh, thank you, Lily. Yes, good up there is quite a lot of stuff going on. Oh, there's something there. That's something shiny. Something shiny is good, right? Yeah, let's check out the dude's thing here. Which reminds me, Lily, I do need to make an upgrade to the text contents on my channel as well in order to make the awesome stuff. Look at that, guys. We have it. We got an eagle egg. I think that means that we can upgrade our weapon. It will be worth it to go see the scary laughy guy. We can make it from there. I think a bit short. Yeah, we fell a bit short. Yep. Yep. Ah! Still a bit short. Nearly a tomato. Okay, there. And now I jumped to my death. That pun just made me miss. Nearly a tomato after he's done with Replicant. I might do another playthrough of... Oh my god. I'm just gonna walk now. My brain is somewhere else. Thank you, Emil. Although, I don't know exactly what part of Automata I would play. Since I think I've gotten, if not all endings, almost all of the endings, but I could always try. I really wish that they had more DLC in it. I would get it. Alright, who's ready to see a very strange angry creature? Emil is right there. I wonder if they make us watch that whole cutscene again of the elder brother dying. Do you guys want to see it if it comes out, or shall we just skip it? Yep, it's right here.
Damn! Where'd they go?
Oh, wait, this is different.
Get him! Don't let him escape!
What is this? What is this?
See something over there!
Oh, so this is the little shade of the robot.
Here! They're in here!
Who are you? Military defense robot, Key 33. You are an intruder. You must be eliminated. Error. There is something leaking from your eyes. What is crying? Who is Mom? My creator is also dead. He perished hundreds of years ago.
Dan buzzes, and just about everything Lumi suspects about the shades turned out to be true. Do I get a gold star?
874 years,
Oh
10
God.
months, 14 days, 4 hours, and 43 minutes. 44 minutes.
You know how to keep time, don't you?
I am incapable of being lonely. or missing others, or crime.
I'll take it, William. I'll take that.
You will die. Why will they kill you? I will not permit the humans to kill Khalil. Military defense robot P-33 will protect you. P-33 is charged with defending others. P-33 will defend Khalil.
Can I call you BP? Oh, BP. Beep boop. Thank you, Dana Lunam, very, very much.
Man, there's gotta be tons of machinery here.
Yeah, but I don't know how much we can actually use.
Oh, wow. Check this out. It looks brand new.
Hey, be careful, all right? This place is dangerous.
I'll be fine.
Oh, no!
Huh?
Look out!
Huh? 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 Jacob? Oh God, this can't be happening. Jacob! Jacob!
Why does he look? And I know this is a really, really. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep this to myself. Oh boy.
No!
How curious that it was in the end all his own fault.
The noise of the intruders caused the structure to fail. They should have proceeded with more caution. One intruder has perished.
You little thing.
The junk heap. Perhaps we should speak to the brothers. They might know something about this.
Oh, hey there. It's been a while. You're the little one, aren't you? You've grown up.
How fares your brother?
My brother's been dead for 4 years.
Okay, let's speed this up.
What? You heard? Not the little.
No, I just.
Never mind.
Yes.
I recently got my.
Don't we already?
Yeah.
Can I? If you.
I'm gonna only the also.
You got it.
I'm gonna only the real big.
You got it.
By the. What can I help you with?
Strengthen my weapons. Okay. I haven't even taken a look at the ones that we bought. I think Sunrise was one of them. Silver ore and larger gear. We're short on larger gears. This could still become something worthy of use. Either way, we got the Phoenix Spear. And we finally have the egg. But it become even better. Now we need gold ore, black pearl. And we got the moldavite. That's good. That's really, really, really good. Gold ore shouldn't be too hard to come by as long as I keep picking up things where ores are found. Black pearl. Where is that found?
Come back.
Let's see, this is a new one. Doesn't look very bad. So then we got the lily sword. Ooh, that's pretty. Quite pretty, as a matter of fact. And when it comes to these, we've got the... Was it Axe of Beheading that we got? Probably? Actually, wait a second. Am I short on something? Quests.
I'm gonna need only the real big enemies on the second basement.
You got it.
By the way, what can I help you with?
Memory alloy.
Come back.
Which I suppose we don't really have. Well, let me see real quick what time it is. It is about to be midnight. So I'm gonna go ahead and in about half an hour. Okay, let's just complete this area. Colonel Chaos says, really the seafront, I suspect. Then I think you need to go to the Caribbean for those black pearls.
It's a shame about the older lad.
Only I'm getting my own bank account tomorrow. They
Sounds like you went to a dangerous area for the sake of the business.
chores. But considering it's been 15 days since I started talking about being paid for doing chores, that means 270 bucks. I think you know where I'm going to put that money. Oh goodness. If you want to put some support in, I do appreciate it, but don't waste any of your stuff. You have a long life ahead that you want to save for, so make sure you do that. Very essential.
The elder brother postponed his joy for the sake of his sibling. Do you think he was ever truly happy?
Just making his little brother happy would have been enough. That's what being an older brother is like.
Actually, how strong is this now? It's not as much stronger as I expected it to be. But it is strong. I can't even hit them until they step off the platform. I think I'm just gonna stand here. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just gonna run through this as quickly as we can. I don't think we need all the memory alloy, we just need some of it, so let's do that. So thank you Kay so very much for your consideration of the content being worthy of support. It does mean a lot. Oh, these actually managed to break me somehow. Kind of refreshing. I definitely do feel a little bit bad for how easy the game has been. Makes me wonder if we should have just gone for hard mode instead of normal. I guess it's partially that automata at times could be kind of hard. So I was expecting this to be too. Yes, as like I told you, anyway, I can repay you for what you have done, I'll try. You don't need to repay for anything. I do content and want to provide support to the members of the Borealis house, because that's what I do. There is no such thing as repayment that I expect from you guys. It's nice if you want to give support, but it is absolutely not necessary. There is no debt to be repaid. Trust me on that, please. Broken arms and other things. Seems like we're full on broken antennas, so get up situation here. I can just head out there, I think. You know what? I'll go down here for the so just for the heck of it. I may need to create a loot build at some point, maybe with one of the weapons that we use more infrequently. There's so many broken antennae. The door is open. The door is open. Hooray! I hate it when the door is closed and you just need to dance around with it. Onward. Okay. Give me multiple opponents. Okay, that's a dead one. Okay, look at that. Oh, come on, don't do that. Makes it take time to take you out. Alright, so we've got titanium alloy and memory alloy. And a few other things. We're full on these now too. Oh, thank you for reminding me, Lily. Shout out to all the chat lurkers. I hope you're having a great time. And remember that you are very, very welcome here. Okay, this is just this room. So we stand here. And din 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 din. Release. To see if we can pick up at least some of these things. Okay. Imagine how nice it would be if there would be an extra boss here. You know, not the cute little robot, but some actual bad boss. Now that I think about it, I think we're gonna end up fighting with little robot. And I don't like that. Now I'm upset. My day is ruined. Diana Lunam, I appreciate that. But I am upset. I need to kill a little jade that misses their mama. There is no version of an outcome where that's anything but unfair. Can we not do that, please? I didn't have to do that? That's surprising, but it wasn't a surprise. Did we not do that last time? Or will we put through this again before we fought it? Or am I just... What? Huh?
A large seagoing vessel that carries freight and passengers over bodies of water. You have taught me much, Khalil. You have helped to expand my vocabulary. You have instructed me in the ways of the outside world. Because we are friends.
Please don't make me hurt them. It's not like I wanted to begin with. Alright, stuff done.
That's some pretty impressive stuff. I'll start upgrading your... And since you did me a favor...
Okay, and then we're just gonna skip all of his...
Well, this is gonna take a little... No sense in you waiting. That would be great.
Let me try to have a look real quick.
No sense in... That would be... By the way, what can I help you with?
Strength and weapons... If I want to use the Lily Leaf sword... Well, I actually have the stuff to upgrade it with. What about the Fate one? Rebirth, Nameless... Oh, right, I think it's maxed out, that's why it doesn't show up here anymore. What do we want next? I wish it showed the range of the weapon here too. Titanium alloy, this also takes it. Nirvana Dagger.
Come back.
Let's see. What's a fun weapon to have? Nameless Blade. So there is this one. Moonrise is pretty nice looking too. And this is maxed out. And I have the iron pipe.
No sense. That would be... By the way, what can I help you with?
Iron pipe needs more dented metal bats. Okay. Moonrise was kind of pretty. Let's give Moonrise an upgrade then, shall we? Okay, we can upgrade it again. And we miss Pyrite. Why did we get Pyrite again?
No sense. That would be by the. What can I help you with?
Iron ore we're kind of low on, so I'm just gonna purchase some. And just in case we need broken lenses, I'll buy some.
Come back.
It appears we have some free time on our hands.
Maybe Popola's
very well.
I'm gonna choose the thing with Popola just to try and have a little bit more movement room and time. I know Diary Mammoth is quite sad indeed. Yep. And where do I find Pyrite? Pyrite, power and sand. I wonder. The range is so short on things that aren't spears. Feels weird to me. I wish we could change the course of time somehow in our second playthrough. Sure, you can check for me, Willy, I do not mind. I'm gonna have a quick look at Popola. Sorry, not Popola, Devil. Gosh, why do I keep doing this to myself? Okay, so she does have something to offer. What have we missed before then?
Which job should I give you first?
Oh, it's this one.
Apparently, I wrote down.
Well, I guess I could just pick it in order to have it. So pirates are in chunk heaps, second floor crates. So that's where they come out from. Very well. Well, anyway, I guess I'm gonna just go ahead and run to save for now. See what we come up with next time. And hopefully do some more upgrades. If for no other reason than just for the heck of it. Anyway guys, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I will be seeing you next week. If you want to keep up with the upcoming streams and my other social media events on my Discord, like live readings, etc., follow one of the links that one of my moderators is about to post in the chat very soon. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!